All right, guys. So we've been discussing a lot recently. On his way out the door, Biden has been doing some pretty good things. We discussed some on the show the other day. Well, we have another one for you. We have another one which is positive. So Kamala Harris announced that it's now finalized. There's a new federal rule to help people with their medical debt. So basically what they're doing here is they're saying you are no longer allowed to use medical debt against people on their credit report. So they say a new federal rule will block credit agencies from including medical debt in their reports on individuals, the Biden administration announced on Tuesday. The rule represents the culmination of a broader administration effort to help the millions of Americans who owe money because they got sick or injured, were treated, and then couldn't pay their bills, either because they didn't have insurance or couldn't cover their out-of-pocket costs. Kamala Harris has championed the cause of helping people with medical debt, both as vice president and as the Democratic nominee for president in last year's election. On Tuesday, less than 24 hours after presiding over certification of Trump's win in the 2024 election, Harris was the administration official who announced finalization of the new rule. Quote, no one should be denied economic opportunity because they got sick or experienced a medical emergency, Harris said in a prepared release. This will be life-changing for millions of families, making it easier for them to be approved for a car loan, a home loan, or a small business loan. As someone who has spent my entire career fighting to protect consumers and lower medical bills, I know that our historic rule will help more Americans save money, build wealth, and thrive. Roughly 15 million Americans have medical debt listed on their credit reports, according to research by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In total, they owe about $49 billion, according to the federal agency. But just how much these people will benefit from the new rule is hard to say. So, kind of a big deal, right? Kind of a big deal. So credit agencies are now blocked from including medical debt in their reports. I love it. Look, what I'll say, and this has to be the lesson, right? The Supreme Court came out not that long ago and said, if you do something as president and you believe it's part of your official actions, official duties, you have a right to do that thing. You have a right to do that thing, and there can be no consequences, right? So the point I've been making is, all right, well then Biden, on your way out the door, there's a few things you could do which they have no recourse for. So one of those things is completely and utterly wipe out all of the student loan debt and destroy the records. Because you can say, look, under the 1965 Higher Education Act, the Secretary of Education can do whatever they want with, the loans that are held by the U.S. government. That's about 95 or 96% of student loan money is held by the U.S. government. We're wiping it off the books completely. And then if the Supreme Court says, well, we don't believe you have that right, it's like, okay, but that's too bad because number one, it was part of my official actions. Number two, we don't even have the records anymore. So even if we wanted to bring back the payments, we couldn't, right? That's one thing that they could do. Another thing that they could do under the guise of a national emergency, right? You can buy up for pennies on the dollar, all of the medical debt in the country, and then wipe out everybody's medical debt. Now, you might hear that and say, well, I don't know, man. That sounds like it's really expensive. That sounds like it's sort of hard to pull off. We've already had blue state governors do this, where it's literally pennies on the dollar, and the government will just wipe out the medical debt for everybody in their respective state. You can do this just at the federal level. And again, say this is part of my official duties as president, and I've declared it's because of a national emergency, and we wiped the slate clean. We bought the debt for pennies on the dollar, and now it's all gone, and we destroyed the records. And then when they say you can't do that, it's like, well, too bad, it's done. And like I said, it's part of my official duty, so there's nothing you could do to come after me for it. It's not like I'm, doing a criminal action or something where you can hold me accountable. So that's what you got to do. So again, we got to give credit where credit is due. On the way out the door, the Biden administration has done a number of good things. This is one of them right here. But we should also point out, not to end this on too much of a downer, but they're giving $8 billion more to Israel on the way out the door too. I'm telling you, that's the downfall of the Biden administration. That is his legacy. It doesn't matter how good the economic record was when you're arming and funding a genocide. You know you're arming and funding a genocide, and you simply don't care, and you continue to do it. Because what you're telling the world is, we don't care about Palestinians. We're dehumanizing them. They don't exist to us. They're irrelevant. That's what you're doing. Well, guess what? History's not going to judge you as kindly as you're judging yourself. When you see all those pictures and all those videos of kids with their heads blown off, or kids with an arm or a leg amputated, kids starving to death, which is literally a strategy on the part of the Israeli government to starve out North Gaza completely. They have concentration camps in Israel where they hold Palestinians. They grape them to death. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this is as dark as it gets. This is going to be Joe Biden's legacy. So you got to give credit where it's due on the economic front, but on the foreign policy front, this is absolutely going to overshadow, all the good things. And like I said, if you really want to have a conversation about good things on the way out, I just gave you more bold ideas that would actually make an even bigger difference for people. Things that would be truly, truly respected and appreciated. So there you have it. No more medical debt on credit reports. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.